What's going on, my friends? This is Desmond Akil Smith here, and tonight it's 9/22/2013, and we are about to get rocking and rolling and rocking. And I have a special guest. I don't even let you know sometimes that we're gonna bring you the most valuable people to the table, people that are getting results like today. Like, not no results that came 2 months ago, 2 years ago, 2 decades ago. We're going to give you results of people getting results today. Today. We're going to help you get results inside your business. And I'm going to just simple strategies. We're going to help you get there inside your business. We're going to give you the vehicle, the platform, so you can go out and make as much money as you want. So tonight's roll call, I was thinking about something, and maybe some people don't know, so maybe it's a great question. Maybe it might be, left wing, but that's how we do on tonight's roll call. So let me go ahead and let these requests in, and I know if you start seeing, too much, just want to make sure that we get the people inside the group for the call. Boom. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and get a question on today. And on tonight's roll call, it's a unique question. I was thinking about this. Are you, let me ask, state your name. Oh, you got your name there. So, state where you're from. And are you nearsighted? Do you see nearsighted? Are you farsighted? So do you see, let me just make it even clearer. Is your vision nearsighted or farsighted? Or, I guess, 2020, which is you have perfect vision. And you might wonder why I'm asking this, but there's a clear reason for me to want to know this information. So I'm posting this, and as we post this, go ahead and comment on this post right here. Go ahead and give me a like and comment on the post. Go ahead and state where you're from, and is your vision nearsighted or farsighted, or are you 20/20? You see perfectly. And if you want to know what's the difference in your vision, like if you're close up, like if you could see things close up very well, then you're nearsighted. If you can't see far, like if you got to squint to see the stop signs when you're driving without glasses, then you're farsighted. No, you're nearsighted. Okay, so if you can't see the stop signs, then you're nearsighted. If you can see the stop signs when you're driving from far away, then you're farsighted. Awesome. Oh, you got an I don't know in there. That's definitely, you need to go to the eye doctor once a year for your checkup. Very, very important. I'll give you, my thing with the eye background, the eye history. I grew up with my mother's an optometrist, and she has been in optometry, since as long as I've been alive, and she has been man, she's been working her butt off, for night and day for. I mean, I'm 33 years old. For 33 years, I know, and just a long time of seeing somebody work their butt off. So, I was always interested in, she's told me, always interested in kind of see, what, what people are more. Are they nearsighted or are they farsighted? I should have asked who wears contacts or glasses. You know what I mean? That'd have been a cool one too. So just interested, just a little of my background. My mother's an eye doctor, and just was interested in question, to see, we're all online, staring at a computer screen all day, just kind of, interested in, what majority of the people are, and maybe that could be a reason why some people, with the stigmatism might have issues with sitting at the computer long. Like, you might not even realize it, but it could be just your vision that's bothering you. So when you actually realistically, you might sit down at the computer and you might start to feel sick, or you might start to get anxiety, and it might be because of your vision, because you're not being able to sit there and see clearly. So make sure you get your eyes checked. Make sure if you do wear glasses or contacts, that you definitely wear your glasses and contacts. It's hard for me to wear contacts when I'm sitting down at the computer. You know what I mean? So, if you're wearing your contacts, make sure you take the contacts out every night. I know a lot of people wear those contacts and they just sleep in them like constantly. I do that like 2-3 days sometimes. I'm not going to lie. But it's best to take those contacts out every night so you don't get that eye infection and that buildup in your eye, man. So there's a little tip that has nothing to do with internet marketing. But, like I said, the roll call is always going to be something new, something unique, something fresh. I see the energy on the call. And somebody, there you go. Hey, Desmond, are you going to get started? Are you going to hurry up and get started? So I hear the guy, he's talking to my ear right now. He's like, hurry up and get started, Desmond. You're taking too long. He got his arms crossed. You know what I'm saying? So we're sitting back, we're having fun. And I'm going to bring out a special guest today. It's going to be a surprise, because all I know is that when we went to the last event, which was Denver, this person's energy was just awesome. And we had no more back pain when we were in Denver. So I'll let this person tell you the story. And LASIK, I see somebody had LASIK surgery. Oh, that's cool. And I'll let this person tell you the story, of how her journey made it to where she's at now, making probably $600 and some a day on autopilot. So let me go ahead and bring out Cindy Bloom. Hey, Cindy.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing.
That's nice to say. What's going on, my friend?
What's going on tonight?
It's been a great, fantastic day, and I'm just really excited to be on this webinar. Can you see my screen?
Absolutely. Go ahead and take it.
Fantastic. Well, everybody, like I said, I am thrilled to be on this webinar and just excited beyond words about what is going on in the past week with my business. And I'm going to just you can see my screen, and a lot of you don't know my story. And today, just coincidentally, I really wrote kind of a heartfelt story about kind of my journey. So I'm not going to read this for you, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about my journey. You can look at it on my Facebook page. I'm not going to read it word for word. But it wasn't until a year ago really a year ago, that my life changed in so many different ways, mostly because of my mindset and because I found a community that helped me realize that I needed to invest some time in myself, um, to make myself feel better. I was in a bad place. I am happily married for 23 years to my high school sweetheart. He's a juvenile diabetic, and I knew that when I got married. And at the time that I got married, I remember my father even saying to me, "Cindy, do you know what you're getting into? You know, getting married and being in love with somebody with being a juvenile diabetic." And I said to my father, as most of us do to our parents, "You don't know what you're talking about. I'm in love." I still believe that and I feel that way, but that voice in the back of my mind has always been there. We were married when we were young. We got married right after my father-in-law passed away. My father-in-law had a tragic accident. He fell off his bicycle and broke his neck when he was actually in Denver. And it was that night, we had been married for about 2 years, and my husband said, "We can't wait for what I envisioned my life and for me to make the amount of money that I want to make for us to start a family. Life is too short for starting a family now." And with that, a year later, or about 10 months later, I gave birth to my son and named him after my father-in-law. And up until then, I should go back and say I was an elementary education teacher. I have a degree, in bachelor's degree in elementary education, and I was a teacher up until the point that my son was born, which was in 1993. Moving fast forward, I was able to stay home. My husband's an entrepreneur. Things were pretty good. I was happy. It was rough. When my father-in-law passed away, he took over his father's business, which was a very good business, but the purpose was to help my mother-in-law and for him to have a different entrepreneur business. And it was great, but he was a sales rep, and in that day and age, sales reps were big, but as we moved into a new era, they got rid of the middleman. They went to direct buyers. So his position kind of was getting less lucrative, I should say. And we found a little niche on eBay where we could sell all the things that he was buying on eBay and make a lot of money. And we were one of the pioneer sellers on eBay, invited by Meg Whitman, who was the CEO at the time of eBay. They flew us out to California, put us up in a hotel room. We got treated fantastic. But it was a lot of schlepping, a lot of physical work. My husband would take a trailer, he'd put it on the back of his truck, drive it, bring it home. We had pallets of merchandise in our garage, and our house was crazy. And then he had a heart attack when he was 39 years old. And at that particular time, his mother, I should say, had passed away in the interim between that. And when he had this heart attack, it was a shift for us because he was in business for himself. I was not working, and we got into a financial rut and had to file for bankruptcy, which is when I went back to work, had several jobs, hated them all, ended up quitting because my father became ill and I needed to spend time to take care of him. And he passed away, and my husband, again, had complications since he's had the diabetes and had been in the hospital and had been released. And I don't know if any of you have ever felt very helpless. I was feeling very helpless. I was feeling sorry for myself. I was like thinking, oh, my mother-in-law died, my father-in-law died, my father died, my husband's a diabetic, I'm dealing with sickness. This is just terrible. And I went searching online to find something that I could do to help so I wouldn't be helpless, so I could generate some sort of income to take some of the pressure off, because we ended up filing for bankruptcy. And I remember having a talk with my mother, and she telling me that she really wanted to move closer to us. And she was crying because she couldn't. She couldn't move closer to us because she couldn't secure a new mortgage, even though she had fantastic credit, but she had no income. And that was my aha moment. I knew I was going to make it, find a way to make money. And in doing so, I not only found a way to make money, but I found a way to focus myself, to get myself out of that rut, to change my mindset, to realize that all these experiences that I have had in my life were to make me stronger and to make me realize that you can look at life in two different ways. That's your choice. You can sit back and feel sorry for yourself, or you can take action and make something happen and make something change. And I was determined, and still am determined, to make a change. And I did. And in the short year that I have been marketing online, I would say that I have not only generated a lot more income than I ever imagined I would, but I have found a world of support, a new outlook on life, and like I said, I have never been happier. In fact, I am just going to go as to say that this past week I had another challenge, and my husband was sick again. In fact, he just got home today from the hospital. He has been in there since Tuesday. Just another little bump in the road. But when he was in the hospital this time, it was a whole different feeling. I did not feel helpless. I knew exactly how to keep life upbeat for him, for my family, and for everybody around me. That was my choice. That is my choice. This is my life. You can look at it however you want, but as soon as you have that shift, that internal shift, that you have control over so much in life and how you choose to feel, when you can take control of that, everything changes. The only thing that we don't have control over is health. So I even put up a quote on my wall today, which I love. It's, if you need something to be grateful for, check your pulse and be thankful for the gift of life. Because if you have life, that's all you need to really to live. And it's about living, and living with purpose, and living and to inspire others. So with all that was going on last week, I was running in and out, going back and forth to the hospital. I have an older son who's in college, so who's in the area, so I was taking care of him as well. All the while, starting my journey with VSN. And oh my God, what a journey it has been. I have been stunned, absolutely stunned at what is going on with VSN, not only with what I am doing, but the entire program, because my results and some of the things that I've been doing, just getting signups. Today I woke up to $600 in commissions. Okay, that was this morning. And then I also got another sale later on this afternoon. And it's just a peanut butter and jelly sandwich that I ate. I want you all to notice a couple things. And I have to share a couple things. I'm just going to go back to my main page. And whenever I buy into a program, or if I get involved into a program, you can't expect immediate results. And I feel that so many people buy into a program and they just think that they're just going to go ahead and market it the way they've marketed any other business. And unfortunately, that business that they've been trying to market, they haven't had success. So they go ahead, they buy into a new business, even though there's a tremendous amount of value and training within, but they, for some reason, think they know what to do because they've marketed before. Well, I don't buy that. When I buy into a program, I buy into a program for the value, and that's exactly what I did into VSN Extreme. I not only bought into it, one of my main reasons for getting involved in VSN Extreme is because I have had a lot of personal issues preventing me from actually driving free traffic, which is what I really like to do. So I needed to find a way to find quality traffic. Boom. VSN was my answer. No, I mean, hands down, I have gotten leads from VSN that are responsive. They open up my emails. They buy products. They communicate via email. They friend me on Facebook. We've had conversations. They're responsive, real leads. So that was one thing. The second thing that was the training. The training is probably some of the best training that I have seen. And as a teacher, I appreciate the way it's presented, because it's presented in a way that I have not seen any other program present their material. And I want to explain this. When you go through the training with Jeremy, he tells you right off the bat, don't bother going through my training if you're not going to take notes and implement my strategies. You're wasting your time. And it's true. That is how you learn things. You have to take action on the assignments. You have to be sitting there taking notes, listening. You can't be multitasking, thinking that you know what you know. If you are going to buy a program with this training, implement it. Go through it and look at. These are all things that I've done just from the very basic training in the gold mine, okay? You know, they say post social proof. Here's my social proof. That's what I'm doing. I do it on a real simple program. I use Jing, Jing. If you don't have it, I strongly suggest you get it. It's a fantastic program where you can take screenshots of your screen and put all these little colorful things on it. And like I said, it's free. And it's a little bit more attractive to somebody's eye if you're putting on social proof that is just not plain. Add a little color, add something that's going to catch somebody's eye. If it would catch your eye, most likely it's going to catch somebody else's eye. I changed things around. This was completely different. I did something completely different. I always like to put my link on here. And one thing I want to tell you, if this is my Facebook wall, and what you'll notice about my Facebook wall, and I really want to point a few things out about Facebook. Facebook is great, and if you're using Facebook the proper way, you are going to, start attracting friends, getting friend requests, and building a following. And when you do that, and the way you do that is you don't want to constantly sell on your wall. There are people I know who on Facebook, every post they have, they post with a link. It's kind of annoying. Like, don't always throw out your link. Put some other stuff out there. Here, look. Here's Jermaine. He put some other stuff out here. Here's here I put about the meeting. Here I put some social proof. Here I was just happy because my husband came home. No link here. Here's another one with, a link. Here is a whole story here. I have no link on this at all. It's just my story telling people about me. I like to put pictures with no links. Just because it gets people to wonder what you're going to post. If you're constantly trying to sell something to somebody, people are really going to overlook your posts. Oh, that's Cindy again trying to sell me something. But if you put up quotes and you put up inspirational things, people never know what you're going to put. They're interested. They stay interested in your wall. This is a new Facebook account that I created a year ago, and I'm close to maxing out my friends. In fact, I don't even accept a lot of people anymore, and my following keeps going up, which means every time I post, all these people are just watching what I'm doing. So I don't want to always just put out links. And this is another thing that I really want to share. It's a tip that I learned, and I asked Desmond if this was okay to share, but part of the excitement of what's going on with VSN Extreme is the synergy that we have within our community. And that is powerful. And what I mean by synergy is the energy, the excitement that we have for each other's success, the way that we respond to each other, the way we're tagging each other in posts. That is fantastic, and that creates a lot of buzz. However, in my opinion, there are two ways to tag. And personally, this was told to me about 6 months ago, and it made a lot of sense. Now, when you're tagging people on your wall, if you notice here, for example, here is my post. I have my post, and I have my link. I didn't tag anybody in this post at all. But if you go down here, I tagged a bunch of people in the comments. And there's a reason why I do this. And it's out of respect. Because if I tag you guys up here in my post is going to show up on your wall. That's great for me, because then people want to go to your wall. Maybe they're going to get my VSN Extreme traffic. Woohoo, great for me. But that's not so great for you. So I don't like to do that. If you do it this way and you put the comments down here, it doesn't go to the wall, but it does create the attraction, and it alerts others so that you still get the communication and the likes for it. A lot of you, if you guys are tagging me, I've changed my settings in my activity log because of that exact reason. I love having your success. I love having your posts. I love being tagged. But I don't want to sell to my followers your stuff. I'd rather them buy, especially if we're in the same products, I'd rather them come to my page and buy mine. So think about when you're tagging people and how you're tagging them. Because if you're tagging me, it's not going to show up on my wall because I have control, and that's fine. But we can have a lot more synergy and a lot more interaction without stepping on each other's, Facebook by doing it this way. So that would be my suggestion in moving forward. You have to be positive on Facebook. I didn't get 4,000 friends by literally asking people for friends. I don't. Look, I can even show you here. I haven't even responded. But these are all friend requests that I've gotten. People friend me. And how do you get to that point? How do you get to the point where people are friending you? You put out value. You expose yourself. I will tell you a secret, and this is actually really fun. This is how I started when I didn't know. If you're on Facebook, a lot of you are parts of groups, okay? So here's a bunch of groups that I'm on, and you got to be careful what group you're looking at. And I'm not talking about spamming. A lot of people will spam in here, but this is a little secret that I've done. I've gone into these groups, and I kind of look for people who possibly I could help with one of my opportunities. And I just go in here and I start liking posts. And what happens is these people get an alert that, oh my God, somebody liked your post. And they're like, who is this person? Who is this person? They'll go check out my Facebook. They'll see that I'm a marketer. They'll be like, ding. Usually they'll send me a friend request and a message. And then I know from a lot of the training that I've gotten how to actually reverse strategize so that even though they think they're coming to me with an opportunity, I'm actually going to show them how I can give them value by asking, I'll usually start and saying, are you getting success? Are you having success by posting in these groups? And most of these people will say, no, not really. I just do it. And I could say, well, I could save you some time and show you how to get some quality traffic in a different way. And that's just one example of having people come to you, because you're then going to be able to help them. I have been in VSN for, like I said, I really started promoting it. I was showing my husband when he got back. It's been 10 days, or 12. And I just looked today, and I have generated close to $1,500. All that will be deposited into my account as, early as Tuesday, maybe tomorrow. Everything has come through except for the transactions that I've made over the weekend. And that's huge. It's huge for so many different reasons. It could be huge if you are needing money to scale up your business. You have it right there. It's available right there, number one. Number two, a lot of us need cash. We need now money. This is your opportunity to get now money. I mean, it's real. It comes into your account. It's just super exciting. And I don't know, this is a program that everybody can use. It's really, really easy to give value to people with VSN Extreme, because you guys, Desmond and everybody who's built this program, you guys built a rock solid program. And if you guys just dig into it and you start with the basic and you go through and you see the value in the training, you'd be foolish not to see the value in upgrading, because each one has more and more value. So all I can say is get in and, not only get in, but be a part of our community, an active part of the community. Stay in touch, bring out positive post on your Facebook wall to attract people to you. Try and give out value. I shouldn't say try. Try is not a good word. I don't like to use it. Give out value. Just give it out. And this is a vehicle, guys. It's right in front of you. You have it. Now, what you're going to do with it, I can't tell you. But if you go through the training in there and you do what needs to get done, your business can explode. It's that simple. So with that being said, I'd love to see you guys on Facebook. Join the group, partake in the group, partake in these webinars. Make sure you stay plugged in. Get in touch with your sponsor and rock this, because it's big. It's huge. So I have nothing more to say. Desmond, are you there?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm here.
Okay, cool, man. I mean, I just want to say, I've never sat down and I haven't got a chance to hear your story. And today we connected late, and I was running home from eating dinner, and I got on a webinar late. So I didn't even when I was doing the introduction, I was sitting there and I was saying to myself, well, what should I say? What I'm saying? All I know is that we've had fun together. We hung out. But I was like, what should I say? But to hear you, but actually to connect with you and hear your story, it's just, it's an amazing story to hear that what you have gone through over the past, years in your life with your husband, and to leading up to what you're doing now. I just think is absolutely phenomenal to be able to work with you and connect with you and be able to, for you to be able to share your story on tonight's webinar. I just want to say thank you.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure, and like I said, this program is rock solid, and I want to thank you, because I think we once had this conversation, and I said, I just need a little kick to get myself going, and you said, here's your kick, now get going, and that was it. I took that to heart, and everything else was in place. So just thanks for that reminder.
Awesome. And you also said something, and I don't want to give it away all tonight, but but you said something that in the strategy what you were doing is so simple. Like sometimes we overlook the simple part. She was going into a group because I've taught this before. I've always do this, even on my Facebook wall. It's good to like other people's posts. It's good to interact. And if you go into these groups, she is 100. She's telling you. She's not telling you even a secret. All it's pure value. Interact with the spammers post. Supposedly, the people that's just going into groups to spamming in these groups. If you interact with them, like their posts, they are immediately going to want to jump all over you, and that's when you have a solution for them, and you can connect with them, and you can show them a better way. You know what I mean? So it's not even a flip. It's almost like you're like giving them you're giving them the solution, because what they're doing is obvious. Nobody else is liking their post, because I probably can go into these groups and you're not going to see anybody liking their post, barely. So if you go in there like their post and they're like, oh, well, they just immediately are going to want to throw up all over you and show you their business opportunity. And what you need to do from that point on is just say, hey, look, whoa, 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 whoa. You need some traffic. You need some leads. And it's not an easy to flip. It's sort of like an assist. It's like, hey, I'm just going to pass the ball over here. And then they're going to slam dunk it. And that's all you have to do is, hey, look, watch this video. Because I guarantee whatever they're doing is not paying them directly. They're not getting direct 100% commissions. And they're probably not getting traffic with it at all. So it's a unique opportunity we have here, because majority of people have issues with recruiting and traffic. And we kind of help solve that issue 100%. So thank you, Cindy, for the value that you give.
Joe, my pleasure. It's always a pleasure to give what I can, because that is what my mentors have taught me, Jermaine, you, and some of the other leaders. And that's key here. If you have a mentor and they're going to tell you something, it drives me crazy when people aren't open to learning from their mentors. If they're in a place where you are, listen, open your ears and listen. So thank you. I'm listening.
Awesome. Well, it's always best if people, like you always say, if you go into the group and you're doing exactly what everybody else is doing in the group, then you just kind of blend in. And if you go in the group and you do the exact opposite, you'll probably attract the attention that you want to attract. So just such a simple concept is so brilliant, though. Thank you. So let's go into the next thing for the webinar, and quickly, what I wanted to go over, just some updates to the system. So let me go ahead and log in, and let me go over some updates in the system really quick. That's not good. Now we've been having some updates. The programmers are working on the site. So if you see something going on or see something funny, just let us know as support, and we'll take care of it. We're actually, we're working. We have our programmers working on the site, 24/7. So as you can see, we're having a couple things we just have to work on the site. There you go. Now, the last webinar that we did on Wednesday, if you're inside the system, I'll put that webinar here. So this webinar goes over some Facebook strategies that'll help you get results immediately. Okay, so this right here, is an awesome webinar. It helps you get results immediately. I'll probably take this off the market, and I'll probably put it in a platinum team here soon. So make sure you take advantage of it and take the time and watch the webinar and apply these methods immediately. Okay. Now we've made some changes. Let's go to e-wallet. Okay. So you have a clear understanding. Oops. So you have a clear understanding inside the system. Ignore the solid trust pay for now. That's just something we have to get removed. Just ignore that. But this right here, all you have to do is click this link. Okay, when you click this link, it's going to send you an email to your email account, and then you can set up your e-wallet. Hear me on this. The e-wallet it's only for people who cannot get a merchant account. If you can get a merchant account, get your merchant account so you can get direct commissions. You can get your commissions paid directly. It's important that you get your merchant account. Once you get your merchant account, you can start selling. So you don't have to wait. Like you can just sell. Like you just leave it blank. You don't do anything, and you could just refer people to the website. You could come to Affiliate Center, and you could just refer people using these websites right here, and you can make your commissions, and you can see all your program, and you can see everything tracked inside your program stats and commissions earned. Okay, that's all you need to do. Once you get the merchant account and you become approved, you come back into your profile. If you have commissions that you earned, you would get paid those commissions the following week through e-wallet. Okay, so you get your commissions, more or less the following week through e-wallet, and then you can hook up your merchant account so you can make your direct commissions. Just want to kind of go over that update. So when people join, I'll go over this again. When people join, they can set up their merchant account. If it takes 2 days, they can still promote and earn commissions. When they get their commissions, they get paid through the e-wallet. Okay, so I just want to let everybody know when they, if you're international, you can't get a merchant account, so you get paid through the e-wallet. So when you make your commissions, we collect the payments as the company, and then you can get paid through the e-wallet. So let's go over this next step right here, which is in My Tools. Now in My Tools, we're setting up where you can set up campaigns. Oops, and he's working on this as we're speaking. Okay, you can look at campaigns, so you can go where you can add campaign. And he's setting it up where, right now we haven't, fully tested this out, but we're going to set it up where you can pull up the banners to the website also. But you can also make the campaign name. You can put the source like Facebook. So if you did want to put a link on Facebook, you can create a link. And then you can put the amount spent, which is really nothing. Or if you wanted to do a $6.99 post. So if you're going to pay to do a post. Now on my Facebook wall, right before I was just tracking, I was testing it out because we're just slightly just starting to work with this. So I posted this post right here. And I posted a link right there, and I was just testing it out. So let me see. If I'm looking at the campaigns, let me see if it's any stats. Look, it just kicked me out. Cool. Let me see if it pulls up the stats. Okay, it's no stats right there. He must be when he's working on something at the same time, and you try to go into it, it'll do that. So if you see that happening, they're probably working on it as we're speaking. That's why it's messing up right now. So he's working on it, and we could look at it probably in 10 minutes or so, I might be able. It might pull back up. See, it pulled back up. And he's still working on it. So we're still working on our stats. We just wanted to let you know that's the next thing that'll be up on the system. Will be our stats, and this give us a little time. We're working on it, but you'll be able to, make campaigns and track your campaigns and track stats into the website. So awesome. So that's really some of the updates we have. We have the profile for the e-wallet. Still get your merchant account. If you can still promote until you get the merchant account, and we just pay you out through e-wallet. And as you see, we're adding adding stats inside of my tools. Okay, cool. So that's really about it with the updates to the website right now. We will be adding some more training here soon that we have. We're just waiting to get some of the more the stats and some other stuff fixed first. And once we get this stuff fixed first, then we'll move forward. The next update to the website, real quick, is we went ahead and it's the last update to the join page. But to the join page, we went ahead and we changed the testimony section right here. So we put some faces with the testimonies right here that we had that was written down. So we got Karen, we got Shantae, and we got Angelo, and he's on the website. And it just gives it more of a personal touch. These are their real testimonies. This is something they wrote, and it's real. So my whole thing is, I like to have a real feel. Have it something that's real. So this is the why we went in this direction, and we also were going to put we switch up and test different affiliates videos here on the join page. Right now I have Angelo, but more likely. Like I said, we'll switch it up. I like to emphasize, kind of the product in this video because I want people to understand that they are buying the product and not really buying the opportunity. They have to become an affiliate to resell the opportunity. So right now, but they are, buying into the product, and then they can become an affiliate once they purchase the product. So that's the direction we wanted to go with the updates. It's been cool. And also,